Nintendo of America invited me to a hands-on preview for Metroid Prime 4, and let me just say, I was blown away. Now for the first part of our demo, I actually got to experience Metroid Prime 4 for the first time ever in handheld mode. We basically got to play the complete opening sequence of the game, which was previously shown off at other Nintendo events, but the only difference is it was handheld mode time. I do want to point out that it did run really smooth for handheld mode, it looked really good, and the way the controls felt didn't feel unnatural while you're holding it. It felt nice. I really got to experience the controllers properly when I was fighting the boss of the first part of the game, which basically was using all the mechanics Samus had. I was doing double jumps to avoid certain boss AoE attacks or rolling to get underneath the boss attack and just shooting all the weak spots on this boss. Eventually I was able to beat it and then we moved on to the next part of the demo, but TLDR, I think handheld is great for this game and it runs really well. Now before we move on, for the second part of the demo, I do want to mention that I used the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller to play this part. The game does have the option to play with Joy-Cons that can put you into the mouse mode and you can aim. It's really cool how the game automatically does that, but I did want to play the Pro controller way because I did play with the Joy-Cons every single other time I did test out the game, so I wanted to do Pro 2 controller. Now this part of the demo opens up with Samus being in a brand new location called the Fury Greens. However, Samus no longer has all of her upgrades from the beginning of the game, which is almost like watching Link get completely nerfed at the start of Tears of the Kingdom after being fully powered up with all those hearts. So I could kind of see the vision here with doing it with Samus. Now the goal for this area was to find a teleporter key, which is in this location right all the way over here at the start of this area when you open up your mini-map with the minus button. Now while playing, one of the tools I noticed that you use a lot when playing Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the scan visor. I caught myself using it all the time to learn everything I could about the environment. I love that there's actually so much lore and information you can learn just by scanning and looking around for certain things that can be scanned. One of the moments I realized that this was extremely useful is when I saw one of these spiky balls. I scanned it and then it said that they are homing spores that sense heat and they also explode. So I immediately got worked up and shot them out of the sky because I did not want to get exploded on, let me tell you. After getting through the initial area, you are greeted by the Fury Green official screen with a cutscene of the area and the game looks beautiful.
I love good gameplay. You don't understand. This is amazing.
Also, I don't know why I spent a solid 1 minute just looking at water, but seeing 60 FPS flow like that really felt good. And after that, I did continue to go forward. I then arrived at a door that I couldn't figure out how to open and just kept shooting at it, but then I remembered whenever you feel stuck in Metroid Prime 4, you should probably enter your visor mode, and once I did this, it showed up and I was able to enter a room where I found a psychic glove. With the Psychic Visor now equipped, I was able to aim at these purple glowing orbs known as motes and grasp them with the ZL button. And then you can aim somewhere else and release it to throw it there. After that, I was also able to go back in the map to approach a door I saw previously and use my new ability with the Psychic Visor to open it up by grabbing the motes and throwing it on the door. Once that door opened, there was another object inside that I used my scanner on and I had to draw out a symbol on it. It started to feel like Samus was actually a Jedi using the Force and I kind of liked it. Now, there were also sequences where the only way forward was rolling up as a ball, and I ran into another instance where I came up to a wall, I started shooting at it, but it didn't break down, and once again had to use my scanner to tell me to use a full-blown charge-up attack, which is what allowed me to break through and proceed. As you can tell by this game, using the visor to scan is probably the most important thing. I then ran into an NPC named Mackenzie who is from the Federation that was stuck, who for some reason is actually happy not to be in a cubicle with Phil.
But you're also not sitting next to Phil anymore in that cubicle, so...
Why is bro so mad at me? What did I do? And after using my handy dandy scanner and shooting some of the swollen vine growths to help bring him down, I encountered a really terrifying pack of aliens called Jungle Grievers. Which I only know their names thanks to using the scanner during my playthrough. And believe it or not, these enemies were actually difficult compared to anything else I was fighting in this area. These grievers were just jumping in at me from all directions, spitting poison at me, and one of them even dodged my charge-up attack. Luckily, I didn't get a game over during this part and was able to take care of them, but it was pretty difficult.
We're good. I'm a specialist, Miles Mackenzie, engineer level 4. I have something for you.
Oh, boy, this is really jammed. See? No.
After the sequence, I was finally able to get a missile launcher, which you can look at the right side of the screen over here to see the remaining missiles you have left. Now, it seems like the world has a way to replenish your missiles when you shoot at certain objects or if you defeat enemies, which is a pretty nice way of reloading your missiles. And they can be used to break through tough walls like this. By the way, have you noticed the sound effect for every time you figure something out? Also, I was able to use the the psychic glove to open up this little area, and this is what a save mission progress area looks like if you wanted to know within the zone.
Should we know how to use that?
Now, while I was escorting Mackenzie, I came across this giant bridge.
I've never seen anything like this. It's beautiful.
I'm just gonna stay out of your way. You let me know when it's clear.
And it was another battle with the Jungle Grievers. However, this time I felt a little more confident taking them on since I was able to use missiles as well. After this, I was able to acquire the control beam for Samus, which actually shoots at a beam you can control when using the psychic visor, just like this. As I kept playing, Mackenzie was trying to figure out some alien tech to power up an area to keep going forward. By the way, Mackenzie was actually growing on me, so nothing better happened to Mackenzie when the full game releases. He needs to be protected at all costs.
Mark 99 Meg, this is Samus Aran. Bounty Hunter, you know her. She's famous. The other one is malfunctioning. Hey, but it's progress. Okay, it's about to get real nerdy in here.
So 2 doors powered up after this moment. I scanned one and it said that it needed a bomb slot, which is activated when a concussive blast is detected within. So this was something I didn't have unlocked yet. Then I realized I had to use my control beam and shoot it to hit the other door to power it up, but I had to shoot it through that little hole above. This led me to eventually go in a room where I encountered this ancient looking alien hologram projection.
Shadi Haram, Kalan Sheikh Gatha, Shadi Haram, Iskalan Gedijaka, Siatin Virus, Kalawan Gedijaka, Sihalashast.
So it looks like if you come across any green energy crystals in your game, that you would have to come here and deposit it here. After this, I did another control beam puzzle and then had to use my psychic glove to open a door, and I knew a boss fight was coming up. Now this boss I fought was called Carvex, and it had a bunch of interesting mechanics. It had these tendril tentacles, and it would spawn in smaller enemies that would track me that I had to shoot. It would slam down its tendrils as well as slamming them down on the floor to do a ground sweep with them, and it also had this spiky ground attack that you had to avoid. So there were definitely mechanics involved with this boss. One thing that I did enjoy about this fight is that this boss actually felt like a puzzle. It wasn't just endless shooting. I had to first break the part of the tendril that had the spikes, which revealed the weak point, which then I was able to shoot and break, lowering its health. But then it started to spawn even more tendrils, and no matter how many times I shot it, I started to notice that it kept respawning the arms, which is when I finally realized that I had to think and use the control beam to hit the weak points consecutively only after I broke the outer spiky parts of the weak points. I'm actually really happy that the boss fights require you to use the skills Samus has acquired.
Absolute cinema. Wow, you gotta think during these boss fights.
After this, I acquired the Psychic Bomb, which can be used in Morph Ball mode with 3, and you can place 3 at a time. After this, I was transported somewhere where I acquired the teleporter key. After trying to figure out what to do, I realized this red ball circle was the only way out of the room since I had to use my new ability to break it. And also, if you look at the mini map in the top right, you can see there's a little entryway over there, which I only realized after making this video, but you should probably look for those on all the maps you're playing in this game. I then was able to test out the drop psychic bombs and jumping around with it, and to test out a bunch of pathways. I then finally went back to the door that I mentioned earlier, where I had to drop a psychic bomb in. Eventually, I came across this area with something in the middle and 2 structures on the right and left of it. On these structures, there was actually a spot to place a psychic bomb in, but it was all the way at the top. So I was stuck for a little bit, but then I eventually realized that I had to enter into Morph Ball mode to drop a psychic bomb, then go into Psychic Visor mode and use my Psychic Glove to throw the bomb into the slot at the top of the structure to power up the middle structure. I actually really like how the developers are building mechanics on mechanics, which makes me wonder how crazy is it gonna get later in this game. After I figured it out, I hopped into this alien structure, which ended up launching me into the desert, and that was the end of my preview. If you're looking forward to Metroid Prime 4, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out this video on your screen over here.